basically so we encourage daring, not hesitant to break the rules of propriety, thinking beyond the limits of conventional thought. And as Mary Ann said, one of the things Cynthia's known for is thinking outside the box, outside of conventional thought. She's has a history of doing what is appropriate versus, what would be bound by other forces, saying this is what's appropriate. She's well known for thinking outside the box, as I said. She's also not just in actuarial, but in her life as we've seen these various things. She's a member of the 7 Continent Club. She's been to Antarctica to see the penguins up close and personal. She's been on an African safari. She formed the first ABC back in 1993 in Atlanta when ASPA decided to try and have local chapters in some of the areas that there was a need for that, geographic areas, what I meant. She emulates the example that was set by Ed, and that she's been involved in the leadership. She was part of the ASPA leadership, sharing her knowledge with others. And it was a very active volunteer over the years. She's been involved in the education of ASPA members and COPA members. She joined ASPA in 1974, and as I heard you say in a speech once, when you were 3. When she was, as I said, a presenter, she authored a number of articles back in the days when people actually read articles in the ASPA newsletter. One of the first to be discussing multiple topics, like 404, she was one of the first people doing presentations on 404, and acquisitions and mergers, and a number of other topics before those people were aware of the fact that these were things that they needed to be concerned about. She was actually the editor of the pension actuary back in the days, as we said, when ASPA only had 1 P in it. With that, I'm going to introduce Cynthia. The award is over here.
We should be presenting the award, which, by the way, is filled with M&Ms. That's a tradition. Yes. It's both, it's an award and it's functional.
Thank you, Larry. Larry has always been one of my champions, and there's not enough adjectives in the dictionary to describe Larry. And for those of you who don't know that yet, you will. I really wanted to thank ASPA, because ASPA has a soul of volunteerism. It gives people an opportunity to work as a team, to work with people who are smart and creative, and to be part of something rather extraordinary. I had fun, I learned a lot, and it gave me some valuable information and tools for my life and my career. Here joining me today is my BFF, who is Terry Moore. She is my colleague in the New York office of Greenberg Traurig. In New York City, every week is Shark Week. And Terry knows how to swim with the sharks and has them eating out of her hand. My sister-in-law, Sue, and her partner are here. They have always been in my corner, unwavering with their support and encouragement, even though sometimes I think what I'm trying to do is a little daffy. Sue delivers honesty with kindness, which is what her flagship is. And then there is Rick, who's been my husband for 40 years. Though in the interest of full disclosure, I have to say that the current year we have not met the 12-month requirement, but we did have 1,000 hours in the year. So. Rick is kind, generous, brilliant, and you who know him know that. Without him, none of this would be possible. After 40 years, I still have the highest regard for him, both personally and professionally. When I'm counting my blessings, he's number one. Having a spouse in the same profession, as some of you know, has its tremendous advantages. It also has challenges. We try mightily not to borrow from the guests for shop talk. On the plus side, we have been able to bounce some ideas with our changing environment. We've had an awful lot to talk about. It'd be nice for the next decade to have a little bit less to talk about. Most topics we agree on, or at least have just minor disagreements, with one major exception, which is 77-2. We couldn't be more different in our interpretation. We're opposite ends of this scale, as far away as possible, and polarized in our opinion. Time, which is 30 plus years, has not softened our position, and he's still wrong. Shortly after we got married, I started a master's program at Georgia State in actuarial science. And Rick gave me the one key to my success, which I had never studied math before. So he taught me how to study math. When somebody is teaching, and you have the teacher and the student when it involves patience, Rick got all the patience in our family. I have woefully little of it. Ultimately, we succeeded. Along the path, the process was much like baptizing a calf. Those of you who know me know that my practice is very eclectic, and that makes it difficult to find research material and references on point. I have the good fortune that Rick is the walking, talking, interactive answer book. When I told people about Ed Burrows, they asked if I was winning this award. They said, well, who is Ed Burrows, and why does he have this award named after him? I was fortunate enough that I worked with Ed on GAC on several occasions, and Ed was an incredible person. And one of the problems is when you have someone who does so much and who is beyond what our normal scope is, our language is so brittle that it doesn't begin to describe what these people truly are. And what I needed was a reference point to begin the example, something that you could relate to in everyday life. And finally, after a few weeks of contemplating, I found a story that was from one of my favorite comedians. And the story went that he was in the kitchen one morning, eating his breakfast, and his 5-year-old son walked in, followed by the family cat. The son took his glass of milk and poured it over the cat. Now, the usual response was, why did you pour the milk over the cat? They said at that particular moment he had an attack of Zen. And he calmly asked his son, why did you pour the milk over the cat? And the son said, well, the cat was hot, thirsty, liked milk, and liked himself. An unexpected answer, and has a few holes in the logic. And would have asked, why did you pour milk over the cat? Then he would have solicited input, targeting diverse opinions. And from that, he would create what would be more like a mosaic. Each piece working together with collective determination to achieve a shared goal, a unique platform for the view of a problem. A mosaic is not compromise. No independence or autonomy is sacrificed. What it is collaboration. Fostering collaboration is incredibly difficult. It is based on partnership and cooperation. Individuals voluntarily joining together to achieve the extraordinary. The product, a reflection and a representing of the spirit of the topic. Leadership, an absolutely essential skill, depended on the success or failure of the project. Leadership skill, very different than in most cases, had to be strong in empathy and honoring of differences. Ed would also have gone one step further and make sure the cat was cool. And that's how I remember Ed, and that's why I am proud and very honored to be awarded the award in his name. Thank you.